Hello, my name's Leslie Pike. I am a professional glass engraver. I was approached recently by xTool and asked if I would make some videos in exchange for a fancy piece of equipment. Now, I love gadgets, I love making videos, and I have got a laser machine and I have got a vinyl cutter, both of them incredibly useful. So this machine that they have sent to me is called the M1, and it is a combination of laser and cutting, which is incredible. This is a smoke purifier, because obviously when you're laser engraving, you are producing smoke and other fumes, and therefore you've got to be able to get rid of them. As I'm in the UK, I don't have the windows open in winter. That would be a bit much, it's jolly cold. And also my little studio upstairs is quite small. I am near a window. I could stretch out the extractor into the window, but ideally this should solve all the problems. I can't wait to try all the different materials that one can laser engrave. Materials that I have never ever worked on before in all my 40 years of engraving. So watch out, world. As for the cutting, well, use your imagination. There are so many things you can use that for. Especially if you are into making cards or indeed signs. I suppose you would be thinking laser and glass, but I don't laser glass. I am a traditional glass engraver. I use a drill and I sandblast and occasionally use acid. But I am willing to try an experiment with what are the possibilities of the M1 and glass combined with my traditional glass engraving. But that will come in later videos. There are times when using vinyl in sandblasting glass when it is incredibly useful and, might I say, much cheaper. You can get scrap vinyl from a sign company, whereas the mask that I use at the moment, which is a light sensitive film, is very expensive. So I will certainly be using the cutter to create some masks for you to see how I use it in sandblasting glass. And I might add, you can use it for etching glass, as in with the hydrofluoric acid paste. So without further ado, I think it's time to get my little knife out and very carefully cut into these boxes and see what's inside. First thing that strikes me is high quality packaging. The box is very strong, and I found it was going to be a little bit tricky to get it out of there, so I did end up actually cutting the whole front of the box down in order to get it out. Yeah, love the packaging, with some great images of some of the possibilities. But the possibilities are really endless. Here we have two cutting mats, very similar to the Cricut, which is one of the machines that I have. So you've got a light grip and what they call a fabric grip, which is a little bit stronger. And that'll hold your vinyl and card and whatever you are wanting to cut with the blade. xTool very kindly sent me the premium package, and so this is all the materials that come with it. There is quite a selection, and I intend to be filming a great deal of my experiments with the various materials. There's a tote bag. Not really sure. I've never put anything on a tote bag before, apart from maybe some embroidery. And this is an interesting little leaflet. It's nice and strong. It's like a laminate effect, and it has a selection of the premium package materials and the instructions, the actual settings that you will require. I think there's possibly a heat transfer vinyl somewhere in there. I've never used a heat transfer vinyl before, so I'm just guessing. But I would imagine, you could cut normal vinyl and lay it on there and tap fabric paint through the vinyl. Ooh, my goodness, there's so many things as I'm thinking about it. Right, here is some lovely wood. In fact, 3mm black walnut plywood. And there's a basswood plywood as well. There is leather, there's board, paper. I didn't look through absolutely every piece. There are 245 pieces of, bits and pieces in this package that you can experiment with. An absolute fantastic package, giving you so much ideas and so much practice. And these are some lovely little coasters. I have engraved a load of coasters before on my other engraver. These are slate coasters. They are unprepared, so I did spray them each with a fine layer of matte varnish. That just gives it a better finish, and it stops any marks or fingerprints and that sort of thing. And then you just laser straight into it. You don't have to spray it again at all. Yeah, some lovely looking bits of jewelry, really interesting. Not sure about the ring. That is interesting. But certainly that little pendant can be engraved. People love personalization, personalized jewelry. I do some lovely Swarovski crystal pendants, and here are some little dog tags. Very popular, and of course very important for your pets to have their little tags. This is a little business card holder, which you will see in the next video, because I engraved that and had rather a lot of fun doing that. And two gorgeous wooden coasters. That is a little mobile phone holder. Again, more, I think that's the leather. Yes, that's probably the leather. Do you know what? I looked at that and I thought leather. And the first thing that came to my head was hand knitted or crocheted golf winter hats, which I have been known to make. So a neat little finishing off would be a bit of leather that is laser engraved and cut out and placed onto the front of your knitted hat, giving a professional finish. Now this I wasn't sure about when I opened, but I read later that it is, I think there are a couple of pieces of black, some sort of material, and it is what people have been putting onto a shiny surface, for example glass, so that the laser can successfully engrave it. Although, as I say, I don't use laser to actually engrave glass in my business, not at all. But I know a lot of people do. And this is what you have to do. There is also the other options of using pens, and there are various other masks on the market. I have got another one actually that I use. And here are a whole load of little tags. There are a lot of them, and I'm thinking, now, what would you use those for? And I think if you were a gift company and you made gorgeous soaps or something like that, soaps and other small items that go into little bags, and you can finish off the bag with that little label, that would be amazing. What a beautiful finish. So here is a load of vinyl by the looks of things. And next up is the rotary tool accessory kit. And this is if you were to be engraving coffee mugs, that sort of thing. And of course, for those who do want to engrave glass. And there are all sorts of bits and pieces. No, I have not got a clue. And all you have to do is read the manual. But of course, when I get to doing it myself, I will certainly be making a video. This is a little box that is holding the risers. Now, when you are going to be using the rotary tool, you need to be lifting the whole system up. There is another attachment that can be purchased, but otherwise you simply lift the whole system up from the base onto these risers. And that will ensure that you can fit it all underneath. Some more of the rotary attachment. Having now looked through all of the instruction manuals, they are so simple. You know, you used to get great big enormous books, and I know this is me. I've got books for all sorts of gadgets everywhere, cameras, the lot. And I've never looked at them. They're so thick. They've got so much writing, so many pages. These are beautifully done and so easy to follow. Look at that. That is just superb quality. And of course that fits with the first small box. No, Les, put it down, put it down. You're not touching it yet. Thank you. Very heavy. A little bit awkward. What shall I do? Wait. I'll think it through in a moment. Okay. Must go this way up. Extremely thick, heavy boxes. Very, very well packed. And this is the long stretchy thing that stretches out, and that is for all the dust and the smoke and the fumes to be extracted. This is the thickest, most dense foam I've ever come across in my life. Right, having a little think how I'm going to carry. In the meantime, here we are, the smoke purifier. Right, I'm finally up in my workshop. It's crazy, it's busy, it's full, but I've found a nice little corner for this fantastic machine. And I'm going to now open it up and put it together. Down here, I've got the smoke purifier, which I'll do after I've done this. Okay, it's got a nice protective cover, which I'll take off later. One thing I did note when I was watching a couple of the videos was this scratches easily, so I wouldn't suggest putting things on it and leaning on it. it's quite delicate, so respect it, I think. Right, in here we have a few bits and pieces, and I think that looks like a few sample bits. Yes, there's a few more sample bits. So if you're not buying the premium package of samples, this is what you will get. It looks like a piece of wood and maybe some, probably some vinyl. Yes, there's a few sample bits in there and a little metal dog tag. Okay, there's a lovely welcome letter and a very basic manual. So here we have the very simple manual in several languages, but it is so straightforward and with all the instructions of exactly how to set it up. Quite simple. Okay, this is great because it has got all the samples that are in the premium material pack, and honestly with each sample it's got what the settings are, and that is incredibly useful. And then on the back you've got a few settings for the items that are for cutting, not for laser engraving. So really useful and nice and strong. It's not just a piece of paper, it appears to be like a laminated effect, so that's nice and strong. This really could be just about for anybody. So this is for the dust. I like the noise. And this would be going out the window, except for in my case I am going to attach it to the smoke purifier instead. Here we have the power accessories and the USB attachments as well. Right, so this will be attached over that, which will be screwed on to the back of the machine. The little screws are in this bag. There's a clamp that will hold it on nice and securely, and that'll be just about it. Oh, one more thing. Ooh, what is that? The tube of something. I have no idea what that is. Let's have a look. I have absolutely no idea what this is. It's not in the catalogue. Well, it's not in the manual, so I really don't know what it is. Next up we have the blade. The blades that are going to go into the cutter. I assume they're all the same size. Yeah, they just happen to be spare blades, that's all. So that will all be in here. This is now empty. Very carefully removing. It's very well packed, I have to say, extremely well packed. So these are the triangular prism parts. I like that. Inspired by your ideas. So obviously this model, they have taken into consideration what people have been saying to them with the other models perhaps, and we developed the triangular prisms based on the opinions of the first group of our tester users. It can be placed as required during the laser cutting, for example. You can place them under the material to be cut on the base plate so that the air can circulate properly, and the bottom of the material is less burnt or smoked. That's really great. So when you're using this item, to send feedback is probably a really good idea, so that they can keep developing. So here are a couple more cutting mats, the lightweight the light grip and the fabric grip. Of course I have the other two because I have got the premium package as well, so that's very fortunate to have spares, and they just grip the material pretty similar to the Cricut. Okay, right. In pristine condition. Let's have a look. Right, so all I did was pull that down, and it's a magnet, so it just drops down. Very, very careful. I tried to do it with the red protector on, but it didn't want to work, so push the back in and very carefully, there we go. Very, very sharp. So this will now just pop back into the hole where it came from. It's all magnetic, so there's no screwing or anything like that. Have a feel with your finger, locate it, and it's in. Okay. So these little screws are fantastic because you don't even need a screwdriver. You literally don't need a screwdriver. So I'm going to start with the bottom one there. I'm so excited. That's such a YouTube cliche, isn't it? So this is your clamp, which is quite tough, but it needs to be, obviously. And then I found this a little bit tricky, but you get the hang of it, and eventually I did get it on. Normal power supply. And the cord with the USB. Right, so now let's start on the dust purifier. Comes with a spare filter, which is a good idea, and a lovely, very simple manual with all the usual images and instructions. Right, got another one of these and some more power cables. Goodness gracious, we've got some of these. Okay, I wonder, yeah, that is instead of that very tough clamp. That was, oh, for some reason we need screwdrivers this time. Oh, that'll be for these. And now, I have no idea. Okay, not a clue yet. And another one. Okay. That's another one of those. and some screws, and this time, yes, we do need a screwdriver. Right, so it's a handy little gadget. Let me get my knees out the way. And it's on wheels, so it can move around really easily. It's just a switch on and maximum, so I will have to read about that, see whether maximum is probably the norm, I would have thought. And that's it. Oh, I see. That comes off quite easily in order to change the filter, I guess. Ah, yes, okay. It's quite simple, really. That is your filter. It goes that way around. Before I get confused. Right, so I'll plug it in. And of course, it's a simple plug down at the bottom. It's actually called a fume extractor. So this side exit of air will take that spare tube that makes a nice noise. Easily pleased I am. And with another little battle to get it on, I think. That just takes the purified air away, should you want to. You can put that out the window if you want, but I didn't actually, and I shoved it round the side. And having worked on it already, I was amazed. I could not smell anything. Although I haven't done wood and I haven't done anything that possibly would make fumes, but I really couldn't smell anything at all. Oh yes, I forgot to put this on first again, and had to unscrew the whole thing to put it round. I didn't want to have to fight with the tube again. And last but not least, let's just take off the plastic. This whole setup fits perfectly into the corner of my workshop, taking up very little room indeed. And all I've got to do now is bring my computer upstairs. Right, that is all set up and was an incredibly easy process. I'm so impressed. It just was basic, far too basic. And I have downloaded the program onto an old PC, so I'm going to be bringing that up tomorrow and joining it all up with my machinery, and then we will definitely get started with creating. I cannot wait to do that. And all that remains now is for me to say a massive thank you to xTool for reaching out to me and sending me these lovely, incredible pieces of equipment. And I hope I do you proud, and I can't wait to get my ideas out of my head and into the machine. Thank you for watching, everybody, and please subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video. Bye for now. If you would like more information and are interested in purchasing the M1, do click on the link in the description.